Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. If you're watching on YouTube, good to see you. Thanks for joining us on podcasts. It's great to be with you as well. Thank you for joining us. Do us a favor, Kris, do your call to action thing.
Podcast listeners, as Bill said, thank you for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast, leave a rating and a review, and tell a friend about the show. Okay, your turn.
I was being careful. I know you feel like I talk too much on the show, so I wanted to give you time to speak. Make sure I didn't step on your toes.
So you do listen to the podcast.
Just want to make sure.
Now do your call to action.
Go down below. Before I do this, can I tell you, because it took one in-person show and already if you're listening at home, not watching, we're doing this show remote because naturally in the Chicagoland area this time of year, we got 2 inches of snow overnight and we went from 50-ish degree Fahrenheit weekend to
I played golf.
35 degrees.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've been going to the driving range. It's been great. And then it was 35 degrees overnight and we got literally 2 inches of snow. I would say half inch or so of it stuck. I woke up and it was literally snow covered outside.
It's so odd when that happened. We didn't get any snow. I mean, we got like flakes, but nothing stuck in the city. But like on social media, all you guys got buried, like the further north that you went.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm straight west, but I think it's just when you have the grass and trees.
We have grass and trees, mister.
Fair. Lake effect.
Right. Whatever it is. It's just weird.
Yeah. So I shot Kris a text message with a screenshot of the hourly weather forecast.
Yeah.
It was roughly like 5 p.m., let's say. And it said 35 degrees. So factor that into the garage. And it's, you know what? I hope we do a remote show. So now we're, as much as I'd love to see him, our options are the garage or this right now. We couldn't go to any of our satellite studios, if you will.
Right.
So this is what we were limited to. And, I feel like we kind of have like a weird radio easy listening thing going. It's quiet. Got our headphones in.
Got no train rolling by in the background, like the in-person shows.
Nice, cool, casual.
Yeah. Hopefully, You're
drinking tea. I
am drinking tea, my nighttime tea. Right. As Chicago weather goes, today it snowed, but by the weekend, it's supposed to be like almost 80. So hopefully Thursday, next week we're back in person.
Thursday's 80 degrees. Well, we are. I have it at the end to talk about, but we do have a small road trip scheduled for next week.
I need to be reminded about that. I already forgot what day we said we were doing that.
Oh, all right. I'll let you know. Because I feel I was doing some looking in the books and the schedule. The content coming out of that is going to be very important for the driverangeheroes.com schedule.
Okay.
So we got to do that. Anyway, back to the call to action. If you're on YouTube, go down below, hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up because you're nice people and you like us, and hit the bell so you get notified, especially with that road trip we have coming up. You're going to want to see that, I think. All right, let's just get into it. So first, real quick, just want to give a quick shout out to my guy, John Claffey. Love him to death.
Yeah, man.
Hope all's going as well as it can. Golf stuff. So I've been telling you, Kris, I've been struggling with my irons kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And don't really know why. I've tried. I mean, I got new clubs from Tour Edge.
Now describe the struggle. What is there a miss involved? Is it chunking? What's the struggle?
I can do all of it.
Okay.
All of it.
Okay.
And that's part of the problem. It's like, all right, well, here I'm hitting them fat. All right, don't do this. Okay, now I'm just hitting these like really majestic high draws. But the problem is a high draw is not my normal. That's not
normal for you at all.
I do. Yeah. And so it's, I don't know, 55 yards to the left. right? Or it'll be like, okay, you have yourself a 165 yard shot.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to hit my 165 yard club, but just pure it with this high draw of mine, 185 yards with 55 yards left because it just didn't set up right. And I'm like, I don't know why this is happening.
Have you checked your lie and loft on your new irons? Is there a difference between your old set?
I can do that. I'm doing this with any club. And that's sort of what I was saying. So I got brand new irons from Tour Edge.
The draw really thing has to be the irons, right? The draw thing has to be the new irons.
Oh no, it's a swing. It's a swing flaw for sure. I'm doing something different, and then I'm going back to my old faithfuls. I mean, I'm in the archives of the club museum, and just anything to just get a little spark. No dice, but it's been very frustrating, especially as like, oh my god, I think I'm actually finding the driver again fairly, at least playable, and I can get by.
Yeah,
my short game feels at least okay. The iron thing has just been a nightmare. Well, I went to a mindset of back to basics, square one. I got my old faithful irons in the bag, not necessarily because they're the best clubs for me. I don't know. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, but they're familiar.
There's a mental aspect. Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Or something. I don't even know. Like everything's a mental aspect in a negative way at this point. Right. So I'm like, I'll put them in there. It's one less like moving piece. As we just said, we've had decent to nice weather for this past week.
Yep.
And I've been like, all right, well, it's good I'm on this big kick as a work from home person, full remote. There's a lot out there over the last 2 years about, hey, one of the ways to like not get depressed and feel good and stay healthy, it's get out and go somewhere. Not just go for a walk, which is good, encourage, it's better than nothing.
Sure.
Not just drive around, like go somewhere with a purpose. So I said, well, I'll go to the driving range. I need practice. I'll put some time in. It'll be great. So I've gone a good probably 4 times over the past week.
Nice.
Just lunch break kind of deal or whatever.
Yeah.
And I found some things. I said, all right. But I've noticed my last driving range session, I had like PGA Tour grade divot pattern. So like 3 nice straight lines, and then one like attached angled line where it's doing short games off to with wedges off to a different flag. Sure. Right. All just that right little like I hate when people try to put numbers or weird references for it, but just a nice little crisp depth. Not too deep, not shallow.
Yeah. Just
nice little crisp divots.
Yeah.
So had a great session, and I think I'm figuring out. And I don't do this ever. This is a you thing, but I think I'm leaning into it. I think I'm close to settling in on my swing thought this year. I'm going to have a 2022 swing thought.
Makes me so happy.
I mean, I don't think it'll last the whole year because the way I tend, and you've seen it yourself, the way I tend to operate, that'll help me. I'll settle on something and kind of hit that groove for a period of time.
Sure.
But come August, where we still have 3 months of golf left.
Right. We're
probably need it.
We're constant tweakers. Like we're both that way. I feel like we never stop, even if there is some success involved. I think that's part of just our natural whatever. Like if we get settled in, like if you do figure out whatever it is, you will still tweak because that's what we do. It's just who we are.
I think for you, it's seeking further improvement and how to build on it. For me, I go, all right, good. I'm dialed in. Better develop like 3 new bad habits. And so now I have to, it's like, and that's what happened with last year. I felt like I was in a good place and I started getting a little cocky and comfortable, and, swing started getting a little long again, started swaying around like, wacky arm inflatable guy, one of those things. And then next thing you know, a bunch of bad problems. So that's where I could see having to change. But right now, I'm in somewhere between. Well, when we can do like more about this when I hit a final decision, but it's somewhere in shortening up the backswing, which has been a big one for me in the past. So I could see that, sticking, and that I'm noticing more so in the irons. If I try to get there with my driver and my fairway wood and hybrid, it gets a little squirrely, but I'm seeing dividends with the iron. So that might be the ticket. Slowing down think of like your tempo in a little bit, but one of the problems I'm seeing there, it's really hard to do that, is even when I do it, it's like there's some points, I don't know where, no matter what I do, it's just like the spring has to unload somehow, and that speed and kick comes. And I don't know, maybe that's fine, maybe that's natural.
Yeah.
But there's something to be had there. But that I'm worried if I get a little too focused on could cause me a whole bunch of other problems and changing up my tempo and my swing speed. Don't know, but slow the thing down, a little less vicious. Didn't say less aggressive, less vicious.
Sure. Okay.
And then the classic one, keep your head down.
Oh God. Wait, so that's 3 though.
Right. I'm sure I'm settling. It's like those are the 3 that are kind of
that are bouncing around.
And I feel like I can't do all 3 of those at once. Maybe the head down one can sneak in with the other ones, but I feel like somehow they all tie together. If I can just get narrowed down to one of those, I think I'm going to be in a good space. That head down one is tough because what people tend to do with the old head down move, they stop turning, right? They just stay down, and then all of a sudden they're yanking everything, duck hooking, which these 55-yard high draws, I don't need more left in my game either. Okay. So then what do you do to counteract it? You come up early and start dragging your club face through in right city, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm in those 3.
Okay.
I'm making progress. God knows when I actually get out to play and put it to the test. And I'm also a little scared of the yips when I get out there with all this happening right now. So maybe I'm better off not knowing when I'll play next, but, just getting close, man. I might be joining you for
that's great
with a 2022 swing thought. First time I've had a swing thought. I'm not to be annoying. I'm getting blown up here by Brian Tweed, Twitter golf legend Brian Tweed.
Is he texting you or is he DMing you? What's he doing?
Yeah, I think it's something about some Chicago area golf history nerd thing that probably only me, him, and John Heisey would care about. But still, there's a little piece of me. It's like, God, what is it? I got to know. Brian Tweed, the legend.
Yeah, for sure.
So you did play golf this past week, and unfortunately, I was unable to join you. I did go to the range that day, though, because it was a nice day. But tell me about it. How'd it go? What happened?
So I shot out just a real easy 85. Nothing too exciting. I 3-putted for bogey once, and I bogeyed 2 of the par 5s, which is kind of silly. I don't know. Have you played Old Orchard?
Is that the one in Aurora?
Burbs? No, it's in Mount Prospect-ish area.
I always get it that one mixed up with, I think it's Orchard Valley in Aurora. Then.
Oh yeah, that's Aurora. So Old Orchard's relatively short, and even, the season hasn't really started, so they kind of had all the tees bunched up together. We actually decided, it was 3 of us, we were going to alternate tee boxes again. We just wanted to go out and have fun and play it that way. And it ended up that decision was being made for us by the superintendent, but because they're still setting up the course, they're replacing all the traps, or refreshing the traps, I should say. But it's a short course. It's like we probably played it from 6,100 yards. So all the par 5s.
Who'd you play with?
You don't know either of the guys. They're 2 of Riv's pals that I befriended.
Mm-hmm. It's funny how golf does that, right? Where you're like, how do you know these people? Like, well, I golfed with this guy who I knew from golfing with this guy, and then I met this person.
Totally.
He introduced me to him at the driving range, and so I golfed with him.
Right. Yeah. And they're awesome dudes. They both have been on the Arizona trip with us. They just kind of they're in part of the gang, but anyways. To bogey par 5s on that course is silly because they're either reachable or very gettable. Either, you know what I mean? It's just nonsense. I just didn't play them. 2 of them I didn't play very well. I came within probably a foot of a hole in one. That was exciting. It was it was a 56-degree wedge into the green, but I stuck it, which is fun. And I put on here, so now I've played whatever it's been, 5 or 6 rounds probably. Ball striking is the best it's probably ever been. Off the tee is not an issue. And I'm legitimately worried that I'm peaking too. You know how we talk about, we usually get it together in November, just as the season is winding
what
down.
I call the end of season golf curse.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, now I'm worried that I'm playing too well. I mean, it's April and I feel like I'm just playing very normal, good golf. Like I don't really have much. I have one thing that I want to focus on a little bit more because I feel like I'm at the point now where I need to start, nothing really around the greens, right? So that just kind of that fringy area where you're just off the green and it takes a little bit more touch.
Not a putt per se, but not like just a grip it and rip it pop wedge. Like you need to finesse a little, a cute club of some sort. It might even be a 6-iron.
So but
it's something you got to be cute with.
Right. And that's part of it, I think, is I started to, since the Dominican probably, I think a lot of us golfers out there, when you're in or around the green, you just grab your highest lofted club. Like, just give me the 56 and I'll figure it out. Whatever. Like, you just grab your wedge and walk over there instead of really kind of thinking about what kind of shot do I need here. Maybe your 56 is what you need because you have to get it up, a hill or something onto the green. But maybe, it's a 52 or it's a pitching wedge and you just want to get it onto the green and get it rolling and play it that way. And I think that's where I am right now. I'm pretty happy with the majority of the game, even the putting, which is so bad for so long. It's so bad. But now it's not even like I'm not missing it. Like, God, do you remember how bad I was at putting, Bill? Do you remember?
I mean, that's a tough one because you say that. And I would say it this way. You made a lot of terrible putts, but oddly, you would make a lot of great putts. So your putting stats overall or number of putts, that kind of stuff wasn't terrible.
Right.
But you'd be having to make, 17 footers to 2 putt.
I was going to say, I would have a 15 footer. And then after that putt, I'd have another 15 footer.
I still think
that is not a joke. That's real.
That Bartlett Hills round we played was for competent golfers. I didn't say not even good golfers, right? Let's not give ourselves that credit.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like just for argument's sake, as competent golfers who are well past the let's give it a tap-a-roo to go to its home. Like we're well past that phase of comfort with a putter.
Yeah.
It was shocking watching you. Like almost like you literally like when you bring someone out who's never played before and like, I don't know how hard it like that's what was happening.
Yeah.
So
like for real.
Yeah. So it's
like
weird. It's hard to say. It's like you were bad. But yeah, you were. It's like you were terrible, but you were it will go down as one of the weirdest things. I'll be like, yeah, this one friend I had playing golf. It was so weird. So weird.
It was really strange. Anyway, so I'm putting better now. I'm much more consistent. I just feel like that's the next thing. Like you got to be able to get up and down, right? You got to be able to get up and down.
So you've said two things that have made my brain race a little bit with this. We'll say your tale of Old Orchard golf.
Okay.
So one thing I'm thinking, and I think it gets taken for granted, is like you can go on look on YouTube and Golf Digest with their tips, and they're like the bump and run, this shot, that shot. Use a hybrid from this weird little like just into the rough off the green
off
and
the
pop
fringe
it on like
kind
a
of
putter.
thing. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's stuff's helpful. It's good insight, but there's a certain degree of I have this shot right now. Which of those cute little shots do I need to hit? Is it the 6-iron? Is it the 8-iron? Is it the fairway wood or the hybrid? I just don't know. And it's like, it's not so much because they are finesse. They are hand shots that you sort of just need to feel and have a sense of like, what can I do with my golf clubs?
Right.
But if no one's ever sort of told you or showed you these shots and really a way to think about them, like right there in front of you, it's really hard to make your brain go there. And I think, so there's one guy who's specific. I mean, I was probably 12 And as my sister's friend, this guy was like a nationally ranked golfer, played golf at Purdue, local. So he was in our stratosphere, knew him. So he gave me golf lessons, real nice guy. And we go over to the putting greens one day and he just starts showing me all these like little goofy 6-iron bump and runs and different shots to hit like that. I'm like, no, why don't you just hit your wedge? He was like, yeah, you could, but try this, do that. And really, not to sound cheesy and tacky like about golf instruction, but made it fun for little kid me.
Yeah, for sure.
And so all my friends are like, look at this big flop shot with my 56-degree Cleveland wedge we all had back then.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, check this out, and hit these fun little goofy shots. And then as I got older, and let's just say when I'd have like real golf instructors who they're like, oh, I don't have to teach you to think about it that way. You already you try to hit those shots. Well, here's some other things to do with those. And I think having that foundation from somebody goes a long way. And not so much like, Kris, I got all the skills. Let me sit at the golf course and teach you these. But
right.
It's like literally, well, you could try this, Kris. I'm not telling you I'm going to go there and be an expert at hitting it, but like it's a different way to think about it. And it's, that's the big thing. It's just somebody giving you that. Yeah. Just these shots exist. And I don't think they do a great job of that on TV with the pros either. Cause they tell you like, oh, he's hitting a 9-iron from out here in the fairway. When they get by the greens, a lot of times they're not like, oh, he's hitting that little pitch shot with a 9-iron.
That's a really good point. They never give you the club when they're, 10 yards out or in some trap or something. They don't give you that. You have no idea what they're hitting unless it's obvious. Like Kisner brings out his hybrid for that one shot or whatever.
Then they will. Right.
They make a deal out of it. Yeah.
Right. But, so I'm not a big Gary Player guy by any means for a whole slew of reasons, but one of the best things I ever saw was on Golf Channel a million years ago. He was talking about hitting different length bunker shots, and he was hitting like 7-irons from 65 yards out of the bunker. It's like, look, it's the same swing I'm doing with a 60-degree up by the green, same kind of motion, and look at this, and it worked. Yeah. But I'm not, that might be extreme and different, but the point is these guys do hit a lot of creative shots using weird clubs you'd never even consider being used. And they don't really highlight that. Sort of like along the same lines, like they rarely show them fixing their ball marks and like the divot and rake work that gets done. So people go from watching TV and think, oh, I don't need to fix a ball mark. Same thing. They're like, I don't need to hit a 7-iron from 2 feet off the green.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing, here's what I'll say as what did you call it? Not a good golfer, but a competent golfer, I guess.
I think that's what I said.
Yeah. There's far more forgiveness in a shot like that, in a bump and run sort of shot like that, than trying to land a 56 exactly where you need to get it to land and then roll out to within a 3-foot putt. At least that's what I've found. Maybe everyone's different, but like to me, I found it far easier and if you make a mistake with a bumped pitching wedge, you're still getting it on the green and letting it roll. Like, it's still, I don't know.
Yeah. You're not well, I guess you still can. Let me show you.
You can still, you can still
generally not blading them there's, it really is. Like
there's just way more room for error in that sort of shot to me anyways.
Well, and the reality is the sooner you get it on as a competent golfer, not somebody who's putting a ton of hop and stop check on it.
100%. Yeah.
The sooner you get it on the ground, usually the better you'll be. And by the way, when you're looking for that perfect greenside performance, use a Bridgestone.
God, you're so good.
Bridgestone Tour BX, man, hitting that ball.
So good.
As much as we have an iron woes, the Tour BX this year has really treated me like a champ. Been great into the greens, been great off the wedges. But it's early season. We've talked about the Kirkland Costco ball this year, right?
Right.
Being a piece of crap.
Right.
And I have to tell you, there's just something about the stupid golf ball where it's like on a green, I put it down and just hit putts with it, and it just feels.
Yeah, it's really funny that you said that's what I was gonna throw some bouquets at it around just on the putting surface, and maybe that's part of why I'm putting better. Maybe there's more feel with that golf ball.
It's just like your old faithful pocket watch, like pocket watch.
Right.
Drop it on the green, and every time it's exactly what you need it to.
Yeah.
So good. So I love this. I love this damn golf ball so much.
Thank you, Bridgestone Golf, for the support of that range.
Official ball of that range life.
That's right.
I want to go back to the beginning of your Old Orchard discussion here, and you're worried about peaking too early.
Yes.
So I
legitimately, I got a lot of golf left in me this year, and I got some real big trips coming up this year, including the big, the obvious annual tournament. I gotta keep it going here.
It's funny because I think of like life cycles of life, like our real life cycle. And when I was golfing a lot, had time to do it, I had a regular pattern. It was definitely, I'm just talk about drawing a blank, a bell curve for me.
Yes.
I was going to say parabolic. I'm like, well, parabolas are involved here, but started my season with minimal work in the winter because domes and availability, right?
Yeah.
But start of the season, so no matter what, it's like those first three rounds of the year, I would just come out firing, and they'd will be 2 of those 3 rounds will fall into my top 5 rounds of the year every year.
Yeah.
And then I start thinking I'm good, playing more golf. Courses get a little trickier. Boom, go back down, grind all year. Okay, and, good round here and there. Bunch of mediocre rounds, couple shitty rounds.
Yeah.
Then I finally start riding the ship September-ish into October. The cool golf, and this is when I was still getting to go play a lot of the cool clubs because I had friends who were members, and this was a time in life. And I'd be like, all right, cool. I want to go play well in some of those. Oh, we're all shut down, so I'm playing the usual, Muni haunts, and playing good golf at. I'm going, God, why couldn't I do this at whatever cool guy course?
Yeah.
But I'd put up some killer rounds at the end of the season, just ready to go into the winter and hibernate,
right. Right.
And then repeat the process.
Yeah.
Now, as I've gotten older and less time for the game, that has changed. I don't really get that early season burst like I used to, and I don't really get the end of season curse. It's just pretty much spotty all year. And then if I'm chasing something that's a problem, I'm chasing it all year. Or if maybe I do get hyper focused, like the wedge journey from 2 years ago at this point. God, that was 2 years ago now. Holy fuck.
I know, that's crazy, huh?
Yeah. I might have something like that sticks, but I'm wondering if you think about the evolution of your life, you are in a place you're playing more golf than ever.
That's true.
Time to do it and what have you. I almost wonder if you don't have that same thing where you're getting that early season.
Yeah. Just
come out of the gates firing, boom.
I know. I'm worried. And I have another announcement related to the golf game this year that also plays a factor where I'm going to be playing rounds that kind of matter, during the year. So there's some courses that once, like you said, the other thing too is we've been playing in some, yes, it was nice out this weekend, but there were still probably 20-mile-an-hour winds whipping around. Do you
think that's part of it too? There's something about
there's a concentration level or something involved there.
I always think it might be, I don't have the expectations.
That could be too. That could be something too. Yeah.
I'll just sneak preview. I was writing a review for some clubs today, and I'll just say I played a really killer round in probably some of the worst conditions I've seen this year, and I had no business playing as well as I did.
Yeah.
I would argue is the best I've played in the handful of rounds I played this year. So part of it was the clubs, I was really taken aback by them because of how well things were going. But I think it's knowing, well, I'm hitting, it's a 135-yard shot, but it's a 4.5 club win. So hit a 5-iron.
Yeah.
And I'm still coming up short. But knowing that,
that's possible. It's a good call by you.
It's not concentration, though. I know what you'd think it would be. It's not. It's really not having too high of expectations, knowing that the conditions, not even the course, are going to beat the shit out of you.
Right.
And because you just sort of relax and take it easy, shocking, it goes well.
Go figure. Yeah. 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 So I don't know, but what I was going to say was there are a few courses that I feel like always get me that I will know whether or not I've really progressed. I feel like Ravislow always, for whatever reason, man, just beats me up. I don't know if it's the greens or what, but it always gets me. So Mount Prospect is another one that shouldn't really do that much damage to me, but I
don't agree with you. We're not that good where you give it a few more looks and be realistic about it. That place is a little sneaky tricked up.
Ravi?
No, Mount Prospect.
Oh, Mount Prospect. Yeah.
Where you're like, well, that's a little goofy. That's a little goofy. It was only a 297-yard hole, but something was tricky about it. And I don't think it's unfair. I don't think the course is stupid. I'm using the term saying it's stupid more for argument's sake here. I think it's a great course. Tons of fun. I love what they did there. I haven't played it in a while. I want to get back.
Yeah, we got to play this year.
It's a little silly at times and sneaks up and grabs you real quick. So
for sure,
I think give yourself a little credit on that one. It's tougher than I think you imagine.
That's fair. Yeah. But there are some other, there's hopefully we get to play Thunderhawk this year. Thunderhawk whooped my ass up and down.
I've heard that about that place too, that place will beat you up. Again, I've never played it. I've heard this.
It does. It's got a lot of fairway. It's a little targety when you get to the greens. You got to hit some shots. The greens are big, but you still have to hit, certain areas. But God, just owned me all day. There are some places that I'd like to go to once the actual spring breaks here, and really sort of see if it continues. But otherwise, it's weird. It's weird. Just 85 is 85 great? No, but it was a pretty easy round of golf. It wasn't me searching for golf balls. It wasn't me grinding out this, these shots and things. It was just
there's a far cry between searching for your golf ball all day, finding it, having to hit tough shots and be like, God, I had to play my ass off to shoot that 85. And I hit a good drive. I hit a tee shot. I three putted.
You're right. I left some, I can tell you that I left some shots out there. I know which ones they were. I know where I didn't do things that I should have and whatever.
Yeah. But you still whatever. My round flowed. It came together. And I didn't break a record, but
perfect way to put it. Just
I was more than a competent golfer.
Right. You hit shot, you went to the ball, you hit the next shot, you went to the ball. There was no going across fairways or anything.
You weren't on your way to an 83 losing 5 balls and 5 holes.
Right. Yeah. So that's that. Should I throw my announcement in real quick before we move on to,
I thought you were going to it 5 minutes ago, but go to it now.
Yeah. So, I just, did this last year. Adam Unfiltered and I played on the South Side tour of the Chicago Golf Tour. But this year we will be playing the North Side tour of the Chicago Golf Tour. So we'll be out there. If anyone else is on the tour, I'm part of the, the Slack channel. If you guys want to reach out, I'm sure I'll be getting out there with some of you guys.
Fancy using Slack.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, and if you haven't signed up and you want to come, Adam and I are always, they've really loosened. Last year, there was some, to me anyways, I think I talked about this, it's a big network opportunity for people that like to network, for people that don't have a golf circle like we have. Maybe they're just they're a solo golfer, always looking for someone to play with or whatever. I'm not looking for that part of it. I have enough friends. I have my golf people.
What I'm trying to say is I don't need to make new friends.
Right.
I'm not interested in it.
That's right. But yeah, so, that's part of the big thing about it. And it's also really cool just to have a golf schedule. It feels like, I don't know. It's just fun. Like you can look at it and be like, these are my golf courses I'm going to play during these weeks.
Golf isn't just a thing to spend money on. You have a purpose.
Yeah. So they've loosened all of the stuff from last year, which was a little restricting around who you could play with and how often and things like it was just a little convoluted to me anyways.
It was a little draconian.
Yeah. And plenty of people enjoyed it the way it was. Don't get me wrong, but they did for those that have their golf buddies. And they want, to always play with the same people. You can do much more of that this year, when you play the majors, when you play these other tournaments. So that's awesome. So Adam and I will probably always be paired up, more than likely. And so if you want to play golf with us and see me shoot my smooth 85, you're welcome to reach out.
Say you're guaranteed not to do it in front of these people now after all this.
Right. But I'm excited to play Last year, the South Side was Harborside. It was Ravislow. It was Water's Edge. There were some really good courses on there on the list. I think you might have played the Harborside round with me, maybe.
No, we did play Harborside together. You and I played. No, the Water's Edge round wasn't either. I was thinking about when we played Water's Edge the other day, and that was, I think that was our first hey, you're allowed out COVID round. I gotta tell you, that aside, I really enjoyed that course. And I've thought about it often.
I agree with you on that. Yeah.
This spring, it's not that good, but it's something about it. I loved it. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's walkable for the most part. It's pretty easy. It's kind of, we talk about the blue collar courses in the Chicagoland area. I would qualify Water's Edge as a blue collar course.
Yeah. Maybe a light blue or a little sky, maybe a sky blue.
Sky blue. Sure. Yeah.
But, I will say this, what a pain in the ass to get to from here though.
Yeah. For you, course. For sure.
That's thing we should do that. So I'm like, wait, that's the one that
save the pain in the ass one for Thunderhawk. Because Thunderhawk's on the North Side Tour this year. And so you should, that's a haul for everybody.
Yeah. Let me just put it this way. I am planning with very intent purpose, my pain in the ass haul tokens this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, people are gonna be like, oh, you could do this. I'm like, nope, no. It's going to be this. It's going to be this. And it's going to be this finally.
Right. And I will vouch for Thunderhawk and tell you that I think it's worth the trip. I really like the course. It's really, people talk about Cantigny or what is it? What's Cantigny?
I will tell you, whatever. Side note, while we're on that topic then. Yeah. We went there because they have a whole museum and park and the whole grounds outside of the golf course, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And so there's a giant mansion. And the story is this guy came back. He was a colonel or captain. He was a captain leading, a bunch of troops over somewhere in France. And he came back and opened this place and named it after a village over there, Cantini. And it says Cantini in there, some people say Cantigny, but and he's right. It's Cantini. It says that on their website. And I was researching it purely because I've never really understood all the private houses around the place. Yeah. And then the giant mansion itself. And that's why, and by the way, it's the McCormick's, McCormick Center.
Is that right?
That's whose family it is. And it's all part of the McCormick Foundation these days.
Okay. Fancy.
Yeah. So it is Cantini. It went there to climb on the tanks in the military area.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
That's how I learned it.
Nice.
I should say that's how I decided it once and for all.
Right. My point was, you want this resort feel or this country club feel, whatever it may be. I think Thunderhawk meets that threshold. I think when we went, it was super well maintained. It was beautiful. It was really, really nice. So
in season, prime time, what's the ticket on it?
It's not cheap. Not cheap. I think it's probably the $75 to $100 ride.
But it's not 100 to 125.
I don't think so. No, because I wouldn't have played it, to be honest with you. Yeah. I think we did end up walking it, which I don't know if that was a great idea. You can walk it, but tee boxes and greens are not that close to one another.
Okay.
So, and there is quite a bit of undulation involved. I think we walked it. I don't remember. Anyways, I want to say it was like $70 or something.
Seems reasonable.
So it wasn't too bad. Yeah. And it was just really fun golf course. Anyway, so that one's on the list. Winnetka's on the Northside Tour, which I love Winnetka. Buffalo Grove, Chevy Chase is on the Northside Tour. I mean, yeah, just it's pretty stacked. So we're happy to be back.
There you go. And if you're interested in the Chicagoland area, go sign up.
Yeah.
Go sign up. Have fun. Have fun with the boys.
That's right. All right.
All right, man.
What's next?
I guess TV talk real quick. So I finished Dawson's Creek and I didn't say anything to you because this would be coming.
Yeah.
It felt weird. I felt like I was doing something wrong, not being like I finished it and telling you and having some sort of interaction about it. But I'm not going to lie. I kind of didn't know how to handle it. It was very weird. And you're like, are you really overthinking this communication of finishing a 20-year-old television show?
Right.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Did you watch the reunion thing on YouTube yet?
No. And I think interestingly in the notes, which by the way, notice in our shows recently, how much we've broken down the fourth wall and we've referred to our notes so often.
It's true.
And so directly.
It's true.
But I think you're going to get into a similar sentiment, at least in a bit here. I haven't watched the reunion thing yet because because I'm begrudgingly catching up on all the things I wasn't watching just to finish Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think I have one more Walking Dead, like part 2, mid-series season finale. Like I don't even understand it.
One of those, yeah.
So we have one more episode to go of that, and it's funny because the episodes have actually been okay, but they don't seem to have any real point or anything of significance that actually matters. I mean, they will because that's where the show's been in general, but you're like, I feel like you watch an hour of it and you go, okay, so what?
Right. God, that's been forever. I feel like the last 3 seasons, really, until you get to like the finales and then like something happens that is consequential.
Yeah. And you go, and then you kind of go, oh, that was it. All right.
Right.
So now
exactly.
What?
Yeah.
And now, like, I'm curious, like there should have been more to this, right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
so that's where I'm at with that. But God help me. And I guess maybe it's because you're so dedicated to a series and just being into it. Bar Rescue, new season of that. I don't know what it is about that damn show. Love it so much. So I've been watching that and then Night Watch on A&E.
What is
I think
Night
we talked
Watch?
about it on this show before.
We did.
But they follow New Orleans, your pick, EMS around for the night shift.
Oh God.
It's
Jesus.
the best. And it's not, I mean, yeah, it's partially like the calls are getting, but then, the characters of it, it's a riot. I love the damn show so much. And it's like, oh, well, at least we got Night Watch. So even with Night Watch, we'd be like, well, we got Night Watch on the DVR. We finished Dawson's Creek. Not going to start another Dawson's tonight. Watch Night Watch before we go to bed.
Is Night Watch weekly?
Yeah.
Okay. And Bar Rescue's weekly too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And I think it's partially like you just be brain dead. Enjoy them, have a few laughs, easy watching. And after 6 seasons of 24 episodes of The Creek, you just need something a little thoughtless.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, that's why I'm on TV hiatus because I have to like cleanse the palate. I'm reading books.
And this is why I couldn't watch I'm like, I just need to breathe a little bit.
Yeah. The reunion's pretty good. I can't wait for you to watch it because I know you'll have all kinds of similar thoughts that I have, and I can't wait to talk to you about it. But
maybe we'll have our special Dawson's Creek guest on to talk about that.
And talk about that. So a couple of things about the final season, the finales.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, so there were the 2-parter was 23 and 24, or was it 22 and 23?
God, I can't remember. I can't.
Well, either way.
I think it was 22 and 23.
Okay. So those were like Kevin Williamson. He came back and wrote that, the 5-year fast forward, right? Those 2 episodes. He came back and wrote those.
Now I think it's 23 and 24.
Okay. Either way, 23, 24. Yeah, it was 23 and 24 because episode 22 was actually going to be the series finale.
That makes a lot more sense now.
Yes, right.
And in your Easter egg note here,
yeah,
I felt like I must have been missing something, but I feel like that may have played a major role in it because I'm sitting there watching that going, well, what else do they have to wrap up here?
Yeah, right, right. And well, there's more Easter eggs involved in episode 22, but yeah, 22 is supposed to be the finale. Kevin Williamson agreed to come back and write these last 2 episodes, which were good. I thought it was a good finale overall. I don't know what you thought, but
I feel like it was a genuine notch above. It was fine.
Yeah.
Like, was it groundbreaking? Good. No, but I feel a lot of the things just tied up how they needed to tie up for Dawson's Creek. I will tell you one thing that I felt like, thank God we can spoil it. It's a 20-year-old show.
Right.
Dougie getting his act together with Jack.
Yeah, that was good.
I was like, thank you for ending this the way I wanted you to.
Yeah.
And then Jen's dying. And they don't really touch on, they just say like, she's got to call her mom, but her mom doesn't come back. They don't talk about how criminal is her mom doesn't come back.
Right.
And Graham's is bedside for the whole thing.
By the way, that performance was so good. I'll see you soon, child. Like, I
will tell you.
Grams.
I will. Oh, she killed it. She's the best.
Yeah.
Grams went from our favorite one to like rip on and make fun of in our house. I can't speak for you, to maybe top 3 favorite character in the show.
Yeah, she was so good.
And I'm sure I'm not alone in that. But
she had a journey all her own too. Like she accepted Jack. Like remember, she was very religious and like very strict in the whole thing. And then at the end of it, she's like,
she's best. And then that I will say, I'm not too proud. Sarah and I both, welled up and got teary at that end or with that stuff.
That was pretty good. Yeah. And Michelle Williams, she was very, very good.
Well, she's I hate to be like this. She's the only save. And Michelle Williams is one of 4 real actors on that show.
Right.
I'll let other people decide who the other 3 are, but they're Joshua Jackson, Grams, and Busy Phillips.
Correct. Have you seen, speaking of Busy Phillips real quick, have you seen Girls 5 Eva on Peacock?
No.
You guys, do you have access to Peacock?
No. And do I want to?
God, dude, you got to watch it. Busy Phillips is in it.
Right. Well, I figured as much.
And she's incredible. She's hilarious. It's written and produced. I think Tina Fey's the executive producer and writer of it. And it is just, it's so good. The plot is Girls 5 Eva was this girl band in like the 90s. They kind of flamed out.
Don't tell me Katie Holmes has a cameo and sings in it.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. But for whatever reason, Girls 5 Eva gets resurrected and now they're all in their 40s, but they're still doing the girl band thing. And it's really good.
All right, I'll look into that.
But it's a super talented cast too. It's Busy Phillips. It's I gotta never forget. One of the girls was in the original Hamilton cast. Okay. Another one is, you would know her name. She's a piano player, musician.
Vanessa Carlton.
No, she had a couple of hits. But yeah,
Sarah Bareilles.
It is Sarah Bareilles. That's her. That's who it is. Yeah, but it's really, really funny, and you should watch it. I think
Sarah Bareilles did like Broadway and stuff too.
She did.
Her whole,
she did.
God, what was her?
Very good.
What was the Sarah Bareilles song? It's like I can hear the big piano part in it.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
It's no Vanessa Carlton. 1,000 miles.
Anyways, all right. So back to the Dawson's Creek. I thought it was a good finale. A couple of the episode 22 Easter eggs. When Dawson is shooting his movie in his room, that's the set. they're basically reshooting episode 1. All of the scenes were like exact frame by frame reshoots of episode 1, which was kind of fun to me. I just thought that was kind of cool. Like
they did that really like with all of his TV show stuff in the final episodes. Like all of them were doing that.
Yeah, and they did the monster scene in the lake. They did Joey and Dawson laying in bed, like the exact same position. The whole thing, yeah.
And then the whole, they were like made some backhanded comment about just make a lot of nothing episodes so it gets into syndication and you're set.
That's right.
That's what happened. Did you catch? And it's like it rang a bell, but it didn't register. And Sarah had to point it out to me. In the TV show, in one of the scenes, I can't remember which one of them says, "I don't want to wait though for our lives to be over." It does like 4 lines from the Paula Cole song, and Sarah's like, "Oh my God, that's genius!" I'm like, "What? What is?" She's like, "It's the Paula Cole song."
Right? They just used the lines, yeah. And
it was like 4 sentences in dialogue. And I'm like, well, that's awesome. Did you catch? Which by the way, talk about just sort of like and I guess I get why they did it, but like, oh, Pacey's still up to his old Pacey ways where he owns a restaurant. He's having an affair with like the distributor, and then he gets beat up by which also, yes, because that's Pacey's, it's not your wife's fault this is happening. And that's who your beef is with. You better get them goon squad to go beat up Charlie Conway.
Right. Right.
But you notice when he's going back to his office with her, the Blackhawks hat hanging on the hat rack.
I did see that. Yeah. Good catch.
I wonder. Well, that couldn't have been
planted that. Right. Yeah. Someone planted that thing for sure.
Up in the Boston area. Come on. Yeah. Guess it's not really, but it's the Cape. Whatever.
But yeah, you got to watch. Next week we have some things we have to take care of already on the show. So maybe in 2 weeks we can talk about the reunion show, because I really need to get. There's a ton of stuff that Kevin Williamson talks about too, which is really, to me, it's very interesting the way that he built these characters and how he selected the location and the name of the show. All kinds of fun stuff.
But it's not like I don't want to know. It ruins the mystique kind of stuff. Okay.
No, I thought it was really. I thought it was pretty interesting. But
okay. All right.
I mean, it is on the Dawson's Creek. What are you talking about, mystique?
You, as a person who was harder on the rewatch, beat me. I was much harder on it.
Right.
Don't you take the nostalgia and mystique away from me.
No, I just, there was a lot of stuff in there. Like, we're big fans of the show. We've watched the whole damn thing at least twice now. I've watched it 3 times. I didn't know a lot of the stuff until Kevin Williamson told me.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. To watch it.
All right. Well, I'm wondering when I'm going to be ready to get back into shows. Like, I will tell you, I want to watch.
Be a while for me.
Yeah. I mean, we have other stuff there's other series we wanted to watch. Like, everyone's been pushing Yellowstone. Okay. And then the Yellowstone precursor show, everybody's saying how great it is. Like, you don't understand. I'm watching The Creek and I don't have another show. I mean, I'm to the point where it's like, oh, the Masters. I can't watch the Masters because I'm sick of watching TV.
Right. I might. I've never seen Mad Men. Never seen a single minute of Mad Men. So that might be the next series.
I will tell you off camera why I couldn't do Mad Men. I can't do it. I can't do it here. I'll just put it that way.
All right, fair.
Did you watch any of the Harbor Town golf this week?
I watched a lot of it. I watched all of it on Sunday.
I didn't watch all of it Sunday, but I was sort of shocked at how much of it. I'm like, God, I've watched a lot of this golf.
It was a really good field. And I know they usually pull a little bit, their RBC, whatever, but man, they
felt a little stronger than usual.
Yeah, I think so too. And it was.
And how often does that tournament have like a bunch of the names?
Yeah,
not necessarily all the names, but a bunch of the names in a close battle.
I mean, at one point you had, I think on Sunday, there were maybe 8 golfers left on the course. 6 of them were in contention. 5 of them, 5 of them were all at the same, were all at 12 under.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was fun. And then I think a couple things really helped me get through the day with that. It was Shane Lowry. I could watch Shane Lowry play golf all day. And honestly, I love watching Jordan Spieth play golf because you never know which way what's going to happen with that dude.
Yeah.
You just never know. He could miss a 2-foot putt like he did on Saturday on 18, or he can hit this tremendous shot on the same hole to go 13 under.
And that wasn't 2 feet. It was like a foot.
Yeah, it was bad. If
he didn't miss that too, he wouldn't have had the playoff.
Yep.
I will say that on the lip bunker shot he hit in the playoff was
amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
All right, Kris.
Yeah.
This has been a show. What do you got? What do you got going on?
Got stuff. We got the boys from Noonan Golf Co. on the Golf Origin Stories podcast. One of the more entertaining and enjoyable episodes thus far of the whatever it is, 70 I've done ish. Those guys are a blast. You're going to see them. You're going to see more of them and hear more about them on this show. So if you want to get a primer, you can go listen to the Golf Origin Stories episode. Mitch and Darren's Talking Golf Getaways podcast has come to an end. And so their final episode has also been released into the wild. It's a lot of fun as well, listening to those guys reminisce. I will say there are parts of that podcast that will never be released into the wild. And it's just mine and Darren's and Mitch's. And it's some of the best stuff ever. But we left a lot of good stuff in there too. You should go listen to that one. And then you, sir, have yet another What's in the Bag. And I think this one will be a very, very popular one. What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? This will be very popular. It is a Tour Edge C722 iron. What's in the box? So there's a card somewhere up here right now that you can click on to go and watch that. But before you do, go watch that. You need to hear what Bill has going on at drivingrangeheroes.com.
That was a good throw over. Well done. Had the UST Mamiya Helium Nanocore review go up. That
dropped today as of recording.
Yep, dropped today. That is their lightweight shaft line they've been doing, and this is the latest version. I'm not going to talk too much about it. Go read the review.
There you go.
But it is in the bag for a future the testing bag for a future Gear Talk episode. So Kris and I will get out and get that going. So check out the written review. Stay tuned for that Range Life Gear Talk about that. And then the Precision Pro R1 rangefinder. That's a mouthful name, but it's that rangefinder is really interesting. It's a good rangefinder. A lot of interesting bells and whistles, bang for your buck. Go check out the review. Kris, as always, it's been a pleasure. Reminder to everybody here, we have a short road trip coming up soon that we think the stuff we're doing will be worth your while and you'll be interested in. 2 episodes from now. I think it'll be 2 episodes from now. We'll have one. Yeah, it should be the that Range Lives will be the start of that. So check that out.
So you're going to want to get on the subscribe button now, hit the bell, the whole thing, because that'll be something. I think there's going to be a lot of interest in that stuff. There has been in the past, and that's going to be fun.
And I'll just say, I think the way we're going to do it, no one else, I don't mean this like we're going to be that riveting per se, but true to our form, our perspective and approach will be different.
That's right.
We'll be different. All right. That's Kris McEwen at Kris McEwen on all the social medias. Go follow him there. Don't forget to subscribe to his YouTube channel here. I'm Bill Bush, drivingrangeheroes.com, at Range Heroes, Instagram, Twitter, all of the things.
Everything.
This has been that Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. Thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you soon.